Make it go away. You know the feeling. A cold hand gently pressing between your shoulder blades, or a tingle on the back of your neck, like your body is desperately trying to tell you that something or someone is watching you and you should run as fast and as far as you can. I've always hated that feeling. And it happens to me far too often, and time again, I can't help but feel something sinister is watching me, waiting. My brother and I shared a room most of our life. Growing up as twins was just easier. Don't worry, there's nothing you need to worry about with him dying and haunting me or being possessed. I wish it was that simple. Something like that is manageable. No, not manageable. Tolerable? It's just so much easier knowing what the problem is. And as far as family goes, I have no right or reason to complain, with the exception that nobody else seems to have the same problem. It started young, as these things tend to, maybe 10 or so. My brother would joke about monsters in the closet to scare me, and to his credit, it worked pretty well. He's always been good at things like that, monsters under the bed and such, but it was always just my brother looking for a laugh, usually. One night, I got the feeling my brother wasn't really asleep. Once in a while, I'd catch him playing a prank, and we would laugh about it while he would explain whatever idea he had. So that night, I watched him, waiting for him to sneak behind his bed and inch towards me, or the closet. After a while, he even began snoring. Nice touch, I thought, but the feeling was creeping up on me still, and I felt dread for the first time in my life. Not fear. I'm used to fear now. Uncomfortable as it may be, like a hangnail that inches down your finger until you finally have to rip it off. No, I felt dread. It was a sobering moment for my young mind. The sensation that something horrible is about to happen. That nothing you do or say will stop it from happening. Plenty of people know what I'm talking about. Watching someone jump off a building or get hit by a car. That's not fear. That's helplessness. That's dread. I feared the dark. I feared Mrs. Fitzgerald, my homeroom teacher. I feared the house 2 blocks down and the woods behind my house. This was new. At the time, I was just confused. I looked around for an open window or exposed vent, but there was nothing. And yet, there was. Something else was in the room. I couldn't explain it, and I was more curious than anything, so I sat up on my bed and looked around the room. My eyes locked on the corner, directly above my bed. Whatever it was right there. It was looking at me. It was smiling. I didn't see anything except chipped and light blue paint, but I didn't need to see it to know it was there. I sat staring for an hour, paralyzed, before it started to move. I think it was testing me, or maybe it was just as surprised as I was to be noticed. I followed it around the room. I watched it climb over my brother as he slept. I felt its eyes through mine. I didn't talk about it with anyone. I didn't try to find out what it was. I just assumed I was crazy and scared of the dark. But even as I got older, it never left for more than a week or 2. And lately, something is different. Whatever it is, it's not hungry exactly. Impatient. It's waiting for me. And I don't know what it wants. It's gotten worse recently. I feel it every night. I never sleep much these days, but now, every night I know it's watching. Or they're watching. Or he or she or whatever the fuck seems to like me so much. Sorry. I've been lashing out more often. Like I said, I haven't been sleeping much. Even right now, I can feel its eyes on me. There's something right next to me, and it's getting ready. It doesn't like that I'm writing about it, I can tell. But it's getting closer every night, and I don't know how to stop it. All I need is to see it, whatever it is. I want to know, and I want to know why. I'm typing this on my laptop, and just like I've done hundreds of times, I'm trying to trick it. Sailing glances at the corner of my screen, where the light reflects just enough to show some shadows behind me. I see them move, when everything in my room is perfectly still. Sometimes, when I wake up in the morning, little things in my room are different. My orchid is one shelf higher, books are rearranged. Hell, one time my shower was running. I set up a camera a few times to try and catch whatever it is in the act, but nothing shows up. Nothing. Not nothing like paranormal activity bullshit where things float and fall on their own. I'm saying the things that change in the morning aren't on the video at all. Honestly, if it wasn't for that, I would just assume I'm crazy. But something is hiding in the corners of my life. And it's getting stronger. This is the longest I've ever stayed in one place, if that means anything. Growing up, overseas, my family always moved after a year or two. London, Tokyo. Under most circumstances, I would consider myself exceptionally lucky. But for the first time in my life, we've settled in a city almost 5 years ago. And whatever was chasing me, watching me, is getting restless. I wake up in the middle of the night and I can feel it pressed against me. Like the feeling when your eyes are closed, where you can tell if someone is right in front of your face. But this doesn't feel right. Not that it's ever felt right. It just wants me for something. Something bad. If anyone knows anything, or is experiencing something similar, please tell me. I don't care what it is, or what's going to happen anymore. I just need the truth. Please.